Number 26, Amazon affiliate selling products I have purchased. So on my books page, I've also got all the books that have been really helpful for me affiliate linked also. This doesn't work very good either. It's made maybe $20. Number 27, Fiverr Facebook ad gig. A few years ago, to try and get new clients, I set up a gig on Fiverr that I'd put up a Facebook ad and show it 10,000 times for $5. And I showed it globally, so it only cost me about $1 to run the ads. The problem was $4 for the work to make a Facebook ad campaign was terrible, and $3 after Fiverr takes their dollar. But I hoped it would work to get some new clients. Didn't work very well. Number 28, as you'll notice a common theme here, most of these, while they have worked to make some money, haven't worked really well. Now, you might be able to make something out of one of these that I haven't made anything out of. And many of these I haven't made money out of because of persistence or lack thereof. I'm limited. I can only do so many things. So number 28 is a good example. Live class online. I made $9 selling seats to live classes online. I tried it for a few weeks, and it seems people would rather pay for a pre-recorded course on a certain subject than to pay for a live class where you have to be there at a certain time. You might be able to get a live class to work. One-on-one calls, number 29, has one-on-one calls using Acuity scheduling on my website. It's really sweet. It allows me to sync my Google Calendar up with my schedule, and then anytime I'm available on my Google Calendar, I just leave that wide open and accept calls for $199 currently for 30 minutes. And then I'm raising that to $299 for 30 minutes as my base rate, with $199 as my max discount starting in October, because I've been getting enough of those that it's been taking away from my time to be here and do books and free videos. So that works really well, because one of the problems I'm about to explain from number 30, scheduling calls is a disaster. Acuity handles the scheduling. I only deal with people who've paid to have a call. Number 30, Clarity calls, which have got me the highest I can report dollars per hour. Clarity calls $1,000 per hour to talk to people about Facebook ads. Now, the problem with the Clarity calls, you have to submit a request to whoever you want to talk to, and then often people will submit 3 times the exact same day, 1 hour apart. So Clarity is a nightmare currently it's just annoying to go through the call scheduling process back and forth. It takes often as much energy to schedule the call as it does to actually have the call. However, if you're starting from scratch and you've got a lot of good skills, Clarity might be a good place to go help people for free and find some people you could talk to and get paid to do it on a regular basis. Number 31, click to call affiliate from mobile ads. Commission Junction has what they call a click to call affiliate program, where you get paid to generate calls that fall within certain parameters. So I did a couple of different ads. I took banner ads that they gave me and put them in mobile ads, and then you get paid every time there's a qualifying call. So I think I made about $7 from that. The initial $1 ad spend made $7 profit. I was really excited about it. And then all the rest of the hundreds of dollars ad spend after that made nothing. Not sure how that worked, but there's some potential there, I think. Number 32, Chase credit card sign-up bonus. I've worked this angle a bunch of different times. They pay you to get a new credit card. Most recently, they gave me a new business card with a $500 bonus if you spent $5,000 on it. Now, it has a $95 yearly fee after that, so maybe I'll cancel it in the future. However, it helped me increase my credit limit, and they gave me $500 to essentially spend money I was going to spend on another card anyway. So I've got thousands of dollars from Chase signing up for credit cards, and then Chase now has the majority of my credit cards also. So good example, what works good for them works good for me. Number 33, YouTube views through Amazon payment. So I used Amazon payments to collect over $3,000 from a client I'd worked with before who couldn't find a way to pay me with PayPal, and who paid me $3,000 to get millions of views on his YouTube channel, which at the time I used Fiverr. Now, they were really cheap views he got too, But it's too bad I wouldn't have been able to use YouTube ads. It would have worked a lot better for him. But that was at the time one of the most profitable clients I'd ever had about a year into my business. Number 34, Warrior Forum Warrior Special Offer to Udemy course. This made more than $10,000 in sales and got a lot of new paying students onto my Udemy courses because the Warrior Forum featured this in an email to everyone who got Warrior Forum emails. This was one of those things that if I would have tried to hustle and scheme for it early on, I couldn't have even come close. The Warrior Forum literally just approached me and said, would you make this Warrior special offer for us? And then we'll run the Warrior special offer as a deal of the day. And then you can get a percentage of the sales and we'll send you the students. A Warrior special offer is a little post you pay like $20 to make. And then you make some kind of product or sale you want to make on there. I still give those a try here and there today. Number 35, one I had done before was a Warrior special offer for Facebook likes and ad campaign setups. So that one worked really well at the time because then I didn't have a good Warrior Forum presence. So I just would post and then link to my Warrior special offer. And then I got people reading my posts that went back to my special offer and became clients. Number 36 is another Warrior special offer. And this is specifically the daily deal promotion I was talking about. So the initial special offer I did, that got affiliates and that did well on its own. But it did really well when the Warrior Forum put it into the Warrior Forum email that went out to like 1 million people. So the once Warrior special offer got promoted both from me promoting it and the Warrior Forum promoting it, and that combined to make an awesome opportunity for all of us. Number 37, I got paid to win a contest on Facebook. There was a guy, he had his son at the office I had for about a year. His son was in a contest and he knew I did Facebook ads and marketing, and he asked, can you help my son win the contest? I said, for $150, I'll guarantee your son wins the contest. He went straight upstairs, sent me the payment through PayPal. I went straight on the Fiverr, bought 5 or 10 gigs of people who would vote for his son. His son blew everyone else out of the water and won the contest. I can figure what you're thinking after that. Number 38. So if based on what you were just thinking, number 38, win the regional round of a national social media competition for a marketing company. There was a marketing company that is funny because they did social media marketing and they still saw that I was doing things so much better that they ought to hire me to help them win the competition because they weren't going to be able to beat their number one competitor. They hired me, they paid me thousands of dollars, which at the time I thought was amazing, but the problem was after all the work it took, it didn't result in a good client relationship. I won them the national round of a social media competition using a combination of Facebook ads and Fiverr. Number 39, focus groups for mobile app testing. This was a project I did for my biggest client because they had a huge government project working internationally to test mobile apps that were popular in their country in all different countries around the world. I was lucky enough to land the US portion of the focus group for mobile app testing. I was selected to do this because they couldn't find anyone else to do it. It's not that common to have focus groups for mobile app testing, and it's especially not common to have them done for cheap. They offered me $1,500 for a mobile app focus group, which you might think, well, that's not very cheap, you might say. I promised that I could get people to do a good job with the test. I thought I could easily find mobile app developers because at the time I worked in an office that had a lot of mobile app developers and tech savvy people like me in it. So I thought it'd be no problem to get them to do a focus group test. What I didn't take into account was how unwilling people like me generally are to stop doing whatever it is they're doing and do something else, because we are passionate about what we're doing. If someone came by my door right now and asked, would you participate in a focus group, they'd probably have to offer at least $1,000 for me to stop narrating this book. Not as much because narrating this book is worth $1,000, but because I love narrating this book and I'm willing to do it for a lot less than you'd have to pay me to do something else. Long story short, it cost me around $200 to get a real mobile app developer to participate in the focus group, according to the guidelines the client wanted and that the government wanted. On a $1,500 budget to have often 8 to 10 plus people do a focus group, you can see the problem I had. I solved this problem with a lot of ingenuity. I thought I found a temp agency. I figured, hey, everyone uses their phones. Anyone can just bring their phone in and do a mobile app test. Somehow, using temporary employees, I did mobile app focus test groups. Somehow, they worked just barely good enough. No one was happy. The client wasn't happy. The government wasn't happy with the tests. They said they looked unprofessional. And somehow, I got this one done. This was one of the toughest ways I made money in terms of getting things actually done, and at the same time it was extremely profitable with using the temporary employees, as I mentioned before. It cost maybe $500 to $1,000 to run 2 focus groups for 4 hours, and then I would get $3,000 to do that. So it was a really sweet system. And I had anywhere from, I don't remember exactly, 10 to 25 plus of these focus groups to do. Number 40, selling 10,000 of my mom's books on eBay. My mom literally had a huge room in our basement back in 2003 or 2004. She had a gigantic room in our basement full of 10,000 plus books. Many of them were in new to moderately used condition, because she liked to go to the bookstore and buy a whole bunch of books at a time after work, and after doing this for years, she'd accumulated 10,000 plus books. My dad was saying something about getting people to go throw them out in dumpsters. I said, let's put all these books on eBay. Someone literally paid $5,000 or so to fly out from Oregon, come pick the books up, rent a U-Haul, and drive them back out there so his wife could start a used bookstore. That was one of the first ways I made several $1,000s online, both from my parents, and then I made about $900 out of it, which my mom was really depressed then. I was in college back then. That was one of the earliest things I ever did to make money online. My mom was really depressed because then I just gambled the money away. And that is another way I've made money online, Poker Stars or gambling online. I'm not including that on this list because it's not legal in the US to gamble online, so I'm not including any illegal things on the list to make money. Why? Because you can probably figure those out yourself. Number 41. Selling my apartment on Craigslist. I'm spending a little bit of extra time on some of these things like this because then I'll go into more of the things in later chapters that are all similar, like affiliate marketing, selling products, etc. So something like selling my apartment on Craigslist, you might think that's crazy. What is that all about? When I went to move home after I quit my job being a police officer, I went to move from South Carolina to Mississippi to live with my parents, and my dad informed me he would help me move. He would bring his Ford Explorer and put some stuff in there, and I had a Toyota Corolla. And I had a 1-bedroom apartment full of everything you needed to live. A bed, dresser, etc. All the things 2 couches that you fill up an apartment with. So I put almost my entire apartment, most everything I owned, especially big but many things small, on Craigslist. And I made about $700 having 10 to 20 different groups of people come over and take things out of my apartment. I literally had a status about 6 years ago yesterday on my Facebook that said, "Time to wake up out of my bed so I can sell it." Then I slept on the couch the next week. And I sold both the couches too. The day I moved out, I sold the couch I had slept on the night before. It was a pretty sweet system. A family came over and took all kinds of extra things out of my apartment. So I made about $700 selling almost everything I owned on Craigslist. It's amazing how easy it is to get rid of things you don't want anymore, and how liberating it is to go from having a bunch of stuff to having a lot less. Number 42, list of Facebook page URLs. In the course of trying to get clients, I would send messages to Facebook pages offering my services, and whatever messages I would send would continue to evolve with whatever services I offered. So I got the bright idea at some point, after having paid a freelancer to build up this huge list of Facebook pages, to start selling the list of Facebook page URLs, because I realized other people might want a huge list of pages too. So now on my website, there's a little page. I sell a list of Facebook page URLs, and you can buy it. And for whatever you'd want to do with them, there's a list of, I think, hundreds of thousands now of Facebook pages on it. Number 43, list of video game addiction help videos. This is one of the silliest, because I sold it for like 99 cents. I sold access to a YouTube playlist of video game addiction help videos, and someone actually bought it. On my original website, when I started working online, gamingaddiction.net. Number 44, building a website using Google Sites. That was not a good idea. Google Sites is not ideal for building a website. It is fast. It is supported by Google, which is nice. Google Sites is Google's kind of little WordPress type platform, except it has a lot less features than WordPress. It's not compatible, at least last time I used it, with hardly anything, but I did earn thousands of dollars building websites using Google Sites. Number 45, Google AdWords monthly management. This has been my most single successful specific service for a client, still to this day earning hundreds of dollars every month, and I have been for years managing Google AdWords for a client who often doesn't have me do anything throughout the course of the month with the Google ads, and then occasionally there's a month where there's a bunch of work. Number 46, Google AdWords account audit and ad campaign creation. One client hired me to actually audit their existing Google ads and make some new ads for them. When they weren't happy with the very first group of ads I made, though, then they didn't have me do anything else for them. Number 47, 60 SEO vain articles. This is one of the worst things in my whole life I've ever done for money. The client paid me hundreds of dollars to produce 60 search engine optimized articles talking about their business, which happened to be vein restoral. It still bothers me to even say the word vein today, because I spent hours and hours and hours spending hundreds of dollars myself ordering these articles on Fiverr. My theory was I could just literally outsource the 60 articles straight to Fiverr and make a few $100s. What I didn't count on was that the client would actually want the articles to be decent. And the people I found on Fiverr for $5 an article, so $300, it was difficult to get decent quality articles at $5 for an SEO optimized article. The client paid like $400 or $500. So I ended up spending 10 or 20 hours and almost the same amount of money the client paid me to get them a bunch of vain articles they weren't even happy with and that they never ordered from again. Another good example of just a nightmare of trying to offer to do everything for people when you haven't done it yourself. That 1 hour sitting there editing vain articles, trying to make them even readable. I can't even stand to read about anything vain related today.